Sometimes we have to see the bigger picture. In order for this, we have to let things slowly unfold. Tonight, I'm going to talk about global events around the world and what is actually happening. We are living in very strange times, guys. And when we see these events, it's not easy to put it out. One thing I do know, it's so shown me that we are on the right path. Let's look in to the looking glass. This is your Psychic LJ reporting from the United Kingdom. I want you to all sit back and relax, and I'm going to look into the looking glass. Let's see what's going on. I hope you are all doing well, and thank you for all the kind thoughts and lovely emails where there was concern because I wasn't feeling well on Sunday, and I'm over my head cold, guys. I'm fine. I had pulled a muscle in my back with sneezing fits, but I'm absolutely fine now. Might sound a bit croaky, but I'm fine. So let's see what's going on. I'm back, fighting fit, raring to go. I know everything's been unfolding over the last week or so. So let's see what the crystal ball has to say. Okay. Now, recently we've had the eruption on the Hawaiian Islands of, I believe it was the 28th, and I did predict that there would be a volcano or there would be news of this on the 28th. Mauna Loahu or something like that? Anyway, one of the Hawaiian Islands, I do believe, had an eruption. So I want to send peace and protection out to everybody who lives around the surrounding area. I believe this is going to go on for a little while, so possibly watch for that. And I'm seeing a second eruption. Now, it's possibly another volcano in that area, but I'm also feeling another volcano around Sweden. Okay, and I've said this for a while. I just feel it's Mother Gaia. She's purging old energy. And we're going through a massive transformation on Earth at the moment. But I do feel that there's more volcanoes to erupt. I'm actually seeing, as I look into this crystal ball, that there could be a problem where the people may have to vacate a town. I'm also very drawn to Italy as well, guys, as I'm looking into this crystal ball. So I don't know if it's the volcano what's going off at the minute or it's another one to come, but I am being shown the boot of Italy. I don't believe that they have any volcanoes over there, or do they? Anyway, I'm getting a very Mediterranean feeling, so possibly it's as if I sort of see the globe as I'm looking into this crystal ball, and I'm scanning around and I'm seeing popping of certain areas, and I am being shown the boot of Italy. If not, it's some huge news to come out around that area, so you need to watch for that. Okay. What else am I getting? Okay, let's see what I'm getting. I'm getting the UK. Let's go into the UK. Now, I did see this, and I've said this for quite a few months now, that I've seen protests in the UK, and it's just recently been announced that nurses are going to go on strike, NHS workers are going to go on strike, post offices are going to go on strike, bus drivers are going to go on strike, and civil servants. So it looks to me, it's as if that everything's purging all the old energy and there's new to come in. And this is all part of the plan, guys. I've said this for a while. The UK is going to take some battering. It really, really is. And they're even talking about intermittent power cuts. So we need to watch for this. We need to prep. I believe that we'll know more within the next week or so. So I want to say just try and prep. Try not to worry. But I do feel that we do have a lot of worry over the winter. It's funny because I had said in one of my last looking glasses, maybe it's not the last one, or maybe it's the one before. I believe it's got a thumbnail. It's something. It wasn't. It was the one where I do the 11 predictions, and it was something about oil companies or gas companies. There's going to be scandals, and I'm saying this again, guys. And I don't know if it's got some connection to do where it's going to cause a catapult effect, and it could affect the UK, it could affect France, parts of Europe. So I am a little bit concerned when I look into this crystal ball. Problems with energy. But I'm also seeing voting coming early in the UK, and I'm seeing Nicola Sturgeon in Scotland making a big announcement as well. I just see the Tory party in trouble, guys, and I'm seeing this really, really strong. And it's as if I'm feeling this exposure of something. Now, I'm going to give you some numbers here, and they could be dates to come in. So I'm getting the 12th, the 13th, the 14th, the 15th. Again, I'm getting the 26th and the 29th. And huge news to come in on the 25th. I normally look on no more than 2 months, so watch for this all to come out. So it's big news to do with scandals, to do with gas companies, and also to do with Parliament. I see Parliament, British Parliament, the Tory government making a big announcement, and I see an uproar for the British people. I'm seeing this really strong as it hazes over. But there's a lot of scandals to come out around the government in the UK, and I'm feeling there's going to be not one, but not two, but three. And I'm seeing Boris's face, guys. He's coming out very, very strong. So I don't know if it's like he's trying to appear back in again or something, but Boris Johnson's coming out here, and this is some big news to come out with him, so possibly watch for that. And I'm also seeing big news to do with a tall guy with grey hair. Everything I'm telling you will fall into place like a jigsaw puzzle. Okay, so also there could be problems with the train industry, railways. I want to say by February, March of next year, when there's a lot of scandals to come out with the Tory government, and there's going to be ructions on and a lot of arguments in Parliament. I mean, that's not new, where I see Labour arguing against the Tories, but it's on the news and everybody's debating it. Round about that time, something huge is about to erupt in the United States of America. And I'm getting this really, really strong. Now, I don't know what the planet alignments is around about that time, but my guide Jed is saying to me that there's a big shift of energy round about March. And you may get news of this into February, but everything's about to erupt. And I'm sort of seeing this around, the heart of it is the USA, but I'm also feeling some big news to do with a woman politician, but also I'm getting huge news to do with Donald Trump. So watch for this. Now, I've been seeing this for a while. I see indictments. I felt that there was going to be problems to do with his taxes. I've said this for well over a year, and people said, no, that's not going to happen. But I do feel that that's all happening now. I'm seeing it really, really strong. there's big twists of fate here. And I want to say that there's a lot of time glitches in this crystal ball tonight. I've talked about this before in my previous videos. That some things are fated and some things aren't. And when I talk about time glitches, what I want to say to you guys is, time is not what you think it is. We are living in very strange times, okay? We are living in times where science is about to meet religion. But it's all to do with technology. And it's technology what's been held back from it. I've said this before. So where you've got the good guys have got the technology, the bad guys have got the technology. But sometimes glitches, time glitches happen from bad guys, or they happen for good guys. And when I say time glitches, this world is not what it seems. But I've said this for a while. When a woman in a red dress makes an appearance, or she's got a red suit on but it looks like it's a red dress, that's going to be a manipulation of time, or something that I want to say the good guys are manipulating to bring everything to the forefront. Okay, so you need to remember that. But what I want to say is, all is not what it seems. And I'm fully aware that there's a big divide in the United States of America. And I feel it's going to get pretty heavy, pretty toxic, running up to the next USA election. I think you're going to be quite surprised, guys, as I'm looking into this crystal ball, who's going to be running, who's going to try and run for the Republican Party. I'm not just saying Donald Trump. I see Donald Trump in trouble. I really, really do. I'm getting DeSantis. I'm still getting him really, really strong. There's some shocking news to come out with Mike Pence, so watch for that. And I see a woman making a statement. There's going to be investigations around Mike Pence. Now, I don't know if this has got something to do with what I was saying the last time with the January the 6th committee, or it's something completely different. But it's funny because when I look into this crystal ball, I see Bill Barr. And I've just seen Pompeo there as well, in Jared Kushner's face. Very strange. Round about the time there's going to be some huge news to do with the bridge. Remember, I'm a scryer, so as I'm looking into this crystal ball, I'm sort of like I'm just going with the images that I'm seeing. I'm back with fire in my soul, guys. Fire in my soul, in my belly. And I'm raring to go tonight. So let's have a look. Jed's sitting next to us. He's sitting to my right. I've got Archangel Michael on my left. And I've got E2I straight ahead of us. And E2I is being very sort of, he's a ball being of light. If nobody doesn't know who I'm going on about, you can watch my previous videos. You can hop onto the Twitch where I talk about him through my previous videos. So he's a being of light. He's a conscious ball of light. He escaped a program to do with very high advanced technology, and he came to tell me what was going on. And he's saying, he's so excited because it's like where the ball is going to start rolling. There is a lot of technology to hit this planet. Watch for huge news to come in around Twitter. And I see Twitter changing. I see the logo slightly changing, or well, changing quite a lot actually. And I'm getting the colour red, and I don't know why. And I'm feeling it's as if that there's another company or another big organisation going in with it. But I've said this for a while. Elon has got things definitely up his sleeve. And Twitter's going to change dramatically. But this new technology to come onto this planet, and not just to do with social media, I feel also to do with devices, things which it's going to be massive, you know. There's going to be a talk of a new iPhone. I'm looking on no more than 2020, end of 24, 25, but I'm actually seeing some sort of holographic sort of mail or something like that. What's going to come into play? Holographic PlayStations, that type of thing. And this is what they do, guys, you know, the drip it in so they can make money out of you. But this is a lot of technology, what has been out a long time. And there's been like a stall on it and it's all going to come flooding in. There's a war of the worlds going on behind the scenes, guys. You know, we all know this. And is everything, how can I say, is everything sort of hypes up? I said this a few weeks back, that there's going to be eruption and there's going to be a rise of the Chinese people against the Communist Party. And that's happening now. So we are all having an awakening, a spiritual awakening around the world, but everyone's on different levels. But the Chinese people, guys, have had enough. You know, it's end of communism. They've had enough. And this has been long-awaited, this has been long-awaited. But I did see that there's going to be scandals to come in around Xi Jinping. So watch for this. And I see a new leader to come into play. But not quite yet. Because as I say this, I'm seeing Putin's face. And I'm feeling it's as if that there's some news to come out. And I'm seeing another man at play here. And I don't feel it's Zelensky. I feel it's somebody else. He's got like quite pale, like a palish face, greyish hair. I don't think he's like somebody high up. He's either military or government. And there's going to be problems with this man against Putin. And it's possible it could be one of his own. Everything I'm telling you will fall into a place like a jigsaw puzzle. It's really strange this, because I'm seeing Mona Lisa as I'm looking into this crystal ball. That's Italy, isn't it? I once watched a marvellous documentary on Mona Lisa. Like, who was she? You know, she was supposed to be like some poor girl, wasn't she? And where she grew up. Was it Sicily? Or was it somewhere else? But it was an amazing documentary. And I'm getting that area of Italy and I don't know why. So possibly watch for something big there. There's also going to be smoke. I see smoke coming from the Vatican. And I'm seeing it really, really strong. And it's round about the time. And I'm not sure if it's the World Cup or some big news to do with the sport. All right. Now, if something happens before the World Cup, I'm not saying it's definite the World Cup, it's around a sport, there's going to be something also big news and around the World Cup. All right, so you need to remember that as well. There's a lot to fall into place by spring, summer of next year. This is really, really strange. And people have asked me to look into it. And I'm actually seeing the 4 students of Idaho what were murdered. Let's see what I can see. They knew their killer. They knew their killer. And I feel that this person got in through the side door. Just walked in. And it's really strange, you know. There's evidence of this on one of their mobile phones where there was talks of one of the girls having a stalker, wasn't there? There's going to be a male arrested, but there's a connection with a female. Remember everything I'm telling you, and it'll all fall into place. There's going to be some big news to come out with this shortly, guys. But the strangest thing is, I feel like I want to send healing and protection to all the family and prayers for the dreadful, grief that they're going through. But I also want to send protection out to everybody in that area. Because I'm concerned. Because this killer is still at large. And I'm concerned that it could happen again. But I'm seeing a young girl, and she looks quite pasty-faced. Like a, how can I say, like a mousy, beigey blonde hair, browny hair. Like a mousy brown hair. Long hair. Pale. Like a hoodie on. And I get a really creeped out feeling. But I'm also getting a feeling to do with another young man where there's going to be an arrest. But there's a link with a teacher as well. Remember that. I'm getting this really, really strong. But where I'm concerned, I'm not saying this is a definite, but this person planned this. And it was more than one person. There was more than one person involved. The dog didn't bark because the dog knew who came into the house. The dog didn't bark to wake them up because the dog knew them. And I'm going to leave that one with you. But if there's anybody connected within this investigation, don't forget I've helped with murder inquiries before with Spanish police, Northumbria police, with different murder inquiries, because I do remote viewing. They need to check all the girls' iPhones and the lad. They need to check all their phones, the mobile phones, because there was an argument. But there was something about paperwork being delivered. There's something about text messages to come out. I want you to remember that. But there's a house on the corner where there could be problems. And I'm seeing a man with a beard. It's as if there's a couple of arrests. I've seen a couple of arrests. But this house is on a corner. It's so distinctive what I can see. I hope somebody's listening to this. And it looks like it goes up at the side. There's like steps going up. It's like quite high up. You know, like a typical American house you get in the villages, in the towns. It's like high up at the side. Steps going up. And I see like a weapon in there. He's licensed to have this weapon, but it's somebody what lives with him. It's somebody who's connected with him. And this man's quite well known. It was planned. And it was jealousy. It was definitely planned. And there's evidence on their phones. They need to scan through the texts of the phones. And I'm going to leave that one. I'm going to send healing and prayers out to everybody involved. But like I say, I want to send protection out to that town, because it's not over with yet. And I'm concerned there could be another incident. Okay. And if it's not a case of the same people with another incident, it's a tragedy, another tragedy, similar, in a similar place like that. I'm seeing a white van, I'm seeing a van, like a truck, I'm seeing a truck. And a post with I'm not sure if it's a flag. Looks like a post box, like there's some like pole thing at the end of this front of this house. I'm seeing it really, really strong. And I'm getting something yellow. Something yellow. Like a flower or something. Really strange. And I'm getting the letter D. So I'll leave that one with you. Okay, what else am I saying? People have asked us to look into Australia, and like I said in my last will predictions, I wasn't sure about. I'm very surprised Dan Williams got back in. Well, am I surprised? No, not really. But it wasn't. I don't feel it was destined for that to happen. But do not stress. I still feel that Australia is the place to be for the future. But what's coming through more concerning here is that I'm seeing another, talks of another virus on the rise. They're going to be pushing at that again. Parts of Europe, the UK, Australia again. So it's not over with yet, guys. You know what I mean? We just need to keep positive. We need to keep faith. We need to keep strong. But into the future, Australia will rise. My concern here is to do with trade. And I'm actually saying, I'm jumping backwards and forwards here, I'm seeing a recession in the United States of America. I'm not saying it's a massive one, but there's a definite recession. Something about problems with the USA dollar. And I'm getting the 20th. Again, sometimes I can read a few years out there, so watch for that. Okay, what else am I getting? So I am in fear that there's going to be a lot of strikes. There's a mess here, guys. But there's something to do with gas, problems with gas, and it's going to get worse. I see an uproar to do with the British people. And I mean, this is happening everywhere. It's not just happening in the UK. It's happening all over the world, you know. But you've got to look at the bigger picture, guys, when you look out of it. You look out of it. Bird's eye view looking in. In order for things to change, the old has to fall. I've been seeing this for a long, long time. I'm seeing the whales in the sea. And I'm going over to Japan. But China sees there's going to be a problem. I'm seeing Kim Jong-un. I'm seeing him firing another missile off. And I've said this before. There's like an event to come off with North Korea, South Korea, China, you know, Japan. I'm seeing to do with the seas around them. It will be all right. But there's going to be, I've said this for a while, there's going to be warships going out and there's going to be problems. But what's going to escalate is, I'm seeing Kim Jong-un's face, Putin's face, Xi Jinping. But not for long. Not for long. But there's a situation to happen, and it's all about power. You know, it's about power and greed, but it's for some unknown reason it seems to be bringing out something. When there's big announcements to do in France, All right, could be Macron making these big announcements. It's going to bring out something. It's all going to kick off with North Korea, South Korea, but it's going to bring out, it's going to change a situation which is going to affect the Middle East. Talking about the Middle East, I want to send healing and blessings out to everybody in Iran who are stuck in the middle of a massive chaos over there. I was talking to an Iranian client just this afternoon, and she was saying how awful it is over there, you know, and people are ducking and diving, people are shooting each other, and it's getting really bad. But just look back through history to do with what Greece went through. Greece has been through a lot. I don't know why I'm getting the Greece. And look what happened to the banks. Like I say, it's the governments that we know and the governments that we don't know. There's a lot of corruption going on behind the scenes. I'm seeing a man, and he looks like, he's dressed like, you know, how the Arabs dress, a rich Arab. And there's going to be some big news to do with a sheikh and a scandal to come out and paperwork. And it's as if I want to say there's a connection to backtrack, which is going to link, which is going to open a can of worms from a past situation. So I'm seeing a man, he looks like a sheikh, and there's documents and paperwork, and there's a scandal to come out. And this scandal is going to lead a paper trail back to something which was, it never got really opened. And you need to remember this. And I'm getting the letter N. Everything I'm telling you will fall into place. Oh, why am I getting this? I'm going over to the UK back again, and I'm seeing big news and announcements coming and around King Charles. And also there's going to be some big news to do with Harry and Meghan, so watch for that. I'm seeing soon involved with a TV presenter. Watch for that. And I'm also feeling where there'll be a fall of a news outlet. It's going to join with another big company. So I just feel it's like it's the storm, it's the brewing of the storm. And I actually thought a few weeks ago we were in the eye of the storm, but oh God, goodness me, guys, that is yet to come. I'm getting that song, you know, rising up like the eye of the tiger. It's late at night, and I'm seeing FBI. And I am seeing a big posh house. I've said this before. I said this 5 years ago. I'm saying it again. I wonder if it's Mar-a-Lago again, or it's somewhere else. There's going to be more investigations. But it's not like the same time, it's different. I'm seeing an arrest, guys. Now, I'm not saying that's Mr. Trump. It could be somebody completely different. But there's going to be investigations. Golf course. I've said this before. And as I'm looking there, I'm sort of seeing big news to do with around an airport as well. The 4th of the 14th is going to come out really strong with that. What's happening running up to the election? It all depends on March of next year. As I look at March, I feel it depends what happens into March. Who will run for the candidate for the Republican Party for 2024. And it all depends on two men will stand on trial, and it all depends on what they say on which way the timeline's going to go, which could affect Donald Trump or not. All I know is it's not over with yet. Daffodils, that's springtime, isn't it, guys? Also, there's going to be, whatever takes place in the UK is going to also affect Ireland. And I see there's a lot of arguments about Irish government as well. So watch for that as well. Getting Sinn Féin as well. And big news to do with around the letter M, around about the same time. The Queen of Hearts. Why am I getting that? The Queen of Hearts. Let me read that. Your two eyes giving me that. Interesting. Made some tarts. Is that right? It's a nursery rhyme. There's a chord behind this. Let me get this up. The Queen of Hearts made some tarts. Queen of Hearts, she made some tarts, all on a summer's day. The Knave of Hearts, he stole the tarts and took them clean away. The King of Hearts called for the tarts and beat the knave full sore. The Knave of Hearts brought back the tarts and vowed he'll steal no more. Now that is interesting. Now you could take that whichever way you wanted to, but there's a code in that message. It's as if that everything's going to go around full circle, but everything's going to change. And where the American flag will fall, it will rise again. Interesting. Right, I don't know why I'm getting Germany here, guys, and it's coming out really strong, and I see scandal to do with Germany, and I'm getting Putin. And I'm sure I said this in a few months ago, I mentioned this. Also, watch out for big news in around the letter P to do with in USA politics. What else am I getting? Something about airports, and I've seen this before. I see people trapped in airports and they've all got masks on. It will be all right. So I don't know if I'm looking at over the holiday season or at the end of the year, beginning of next. And I'm getting Norway. Norway's coming out really strong. Or is it Sweden? When Putin goes, he will go suddenly. Like a lot of people, when they will go suddenly. But when Putin goes, it's going to be all over world news. But it is connected to do with a yacht or a big ship. Or there is going to be big news to do with a yacht or a big ship round about that time. And I'm going to leave that one with you. See if I can see anything else before I pull away. They're just shown as the Queen of Hearts and the King of Hearts in this crystal ball. I would say there's going to be massive change. And it's not just in USA politics into spring, summer of next year, it's globally. So I think we just need to buckle on down. We need to prep for the winter. We need to keep our vibrations high. And it's going to get really cold. And I'm on about places where there's a very cold temperature, but also very hot in places with the seasons like in Australia. I want to say watch our pets, and I don't know why I'm getting that. But as I see that, I want to, well, yes, you've got to watch your pets in the heat, but I'm actually getting it for the cold. I don't know why I'm being shown that. The dust will breeze from the east. The dust will breeze from the east, but we will be okay. And I'm being shown a blue, a white, and a green flag. Remember that. And I'm also being shown a red flag with a white symbol on it, if it's a crescent moon or a star. Yeah. More trouble coming in from the borders. And I'm also feeling something about Brazil. They're shown as cartel. Mexico. When it all erupts, and I want to say 3 to 4, that's when it's all going to come out. I could be looking at 3 to 4 months here, guys, but this is huge. Take care. God bless. We are nearly there, guys. We just have to be strong. We have to stay positive. It's funny when I'm saying that. When it all starts to come out, 3 to 4, there'll be tabloid papers, and it's got something to do with Donald Trump Jr. Watch for that. And I'm going to leave that one with you. Take care. God bless. And stay happy, stay blessed, stay well. And I'll see you all in a bit. All I know is we are going through a shift. We are going through a massive shift of the past meeting the future. But the future is meeting the past. Remember, there's no such thing as time. Time is an illusion. And we are capable of a lot more than we could ever imagine. When the man stands in snow, we will know the truth. Take care, guys. Stay warm wherever you all are around the world, and I'll be back on in a bit. Goodbye now.
Where am I? I think I'm stuck on end screen. Guys, I need to stop doing this astral travelling. I keep getting stuck in the cloud. But anyway, I'm stuck on my end screen. So don't forget, subscribe to my channel and press the bell for new updates. Us fairies, you know, we're always getting up to mischief. See you all soon. Bye now.